coming to your research area, so in what field you are working there?
Yeah. So basically, my research topic here is artificial intelligence driven intelligence sensing and resource allocation for next generation wireless network. So basically, here we are working on beyond 5G.
Mm-hmm.
These standards are there, right? 4G, 5G.
Yes.
So 4G have been in India, we are using from 2014, right?
Okay.
So in 2020, 5G have been deployed.
Mm-hmm.
So my research is like um after 5G, it's like we are not calling 6G till now, because after 5G also you need to improve that technology, and then it will go further. So like
Okay.
if you for example, if I'll tell you, when 4G came, initially it was only 4G, then
Okay.
some improvement happened, and then
Mm.
it we called it LTE,
Okay.
4G
Yeah.
LTE.
Yes. Yes.
If
Yes.
you see in your mobile also, it will show like that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then after that, again some improvement happened in that, and then the technology which came is called 4G VoLTE. That
Yes.
means
Yes.
voice over LTE.
Yes. Yes.
So like that, development happens in that same standard. So like that, 5G have been deployed. Now we are working to like improve much further what we can do in 5G, and then how we can reach to the sixth generation, the 6G.
Okay.
So that is my work here.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I'm using data-driven modeling techniques to design a framework based on deep learning and deep reinforcement learning
Mm-hmm.
uh, to um, to work for this intelligence sensing and resource allocation in wireless communication for next generation wireless networks.
Okay.
So that is the work.
So
Yeah. If
yeah.
you want, I can explain in detail, but I don't know, like uh, if people will understand if I'll go into deep. So it's
I
on
think
in list like.
that's not a problem. That's not a big deal because we have like viewers from different backgrounds actually.
Okay.
Some are
Okay.
from computer science, mechanical, civil, and all. So I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
having a question
So
in my mind when you were talking regarding this 5G and all. We hear a lot about that 5G
yeah.
effects, 5G effects,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
trees, birds, and all. So what is your opinion in this thing?
Well, see, I'm working on this one. Then obviously, I will say that is nothing like that.
Okay.
But yeah, people have their own. Everybody have their own point of view, and they are
Mm-hmm.
like free to say what they want to. And different people do different kind of research. Our research is like how to improve quality of services towards the user, how to improve data rate, how to decrease the latency, how
Mm-hmm.
to improve the throughput, spectral efficiency, these things. I don't think is like affecting that much. No,
Okay.
obviously, everything, whatever electromagnetic devices we are using, everything have electromagnetic wave. So somehow some effect it is providing, but the effect is very very small. It's not that much high that they are like they will say that birds are dying and these things are happening. I don't know it's like true or not. And this specifically, if I'll say, like I haven't gone into that much detail also, like what is happening, what is this thing, because we I don't get time other than my own research, because
Okay.
so much is there to like do, and so much is there to like learn and stuff. So yeah. And yeah, so I don't know exactly what is happening. Yeah,
Okay.
but I saw some articles, and when and yeah, I'll just end with this sentence that I was giving. I had a course here called Philosophy of Science. So in that also, I gave a presentation on this topic, 5G and beyond. And there
Mm-hmm.
also some people asked me the same question, like, okay, what
Yes.
is
Yes.
happening? How is like environment friendly and these things. So there also I said like, okay, it's like yeah, but I agree that obviously all devices, any kind of devices which we are using, uh, are electromagnetic devices. It runs on electromagnetic waves, so obviously there will be some effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So coming back to this admission process and was there any PhD interview for you?
Yeah, yeah, obviously. So after you'll apply this on this website, your application will be like once you submitted your application, then they will take. So they will put a committee here. The committee members will be one from this university, two will be from two different universities from Norway only,
Mm-hmm.
and then HR and other people will be there. So they will like sort out the application position depending on the requirement of the project.
Okay.
Like as I have told you before that they specifically choose people related with that project,
Yeah.
and then they see the motivation also, that you are motivated or not,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like a small time period only. You have to complete your PhD in 3 years. It's not like 5 years PhD that you can come, then you can from the day one you have to like start working. So
Okay.
that is the one thing. So once you have like selected they have selected you for the next round, then you'll get an email
Mm-hmm.
saying that okay, you got your application have been selected, and you will receive this email from the HR, who will inform you the interview date and time and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And then yeah, in the interview, like there will be a panel, head of department, supervisor, co-supervisor, who will
Mm-hmm.
be like connected with that project, HR, and yeah, like 6 7 people will be there in the whole panel.
So your
And
guide is
then
also predefined. Your guide whom you are going to work
yes,
under.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah, because um, the project on which I'm working is a project um, is means like my guide wrote this grant, project grant he got from the Research Council of Norway.
Okay.
We call it NRC, Norway Research Council, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, so that's like the grant have been provided from the government. So, uh, because that's his project, so
Mm-hmm.
whoever will join in that project, he will be supervisor for that person, because he's the manager, PI for that project. So yeah,
Okay.
so he was predefined.
Mm. So coming to this qualifier examination also, like in US and all, there will be a qualifier examination after 1 year. So they need to do some courses and
Yes,
all. It's the same thing
yeah,
for you?
yes. Yeah, we don't have qualifying exam, but here is the system is a little bit different. Once you join here, you'll get a temporary contract for 3 years. But
Mm-hmm.
in that contract only, it will be mentioned that after 3 months, you have to defend your research proposal.
Okay.
And yeah, and if you are not successful to defend your research proposal, then your contract will get terminated.
Okay. You will
But
come back to India.
it yeah, but it never happened to anyone. It's just
Yes.
a clause which they have written, that if some
Okay.
person by mistake, if they got selected by some mistake in this position, and then they are not
Suitable.
capable of
Yeah.
doing research in that position, then they can't just keep them for 3 years thinking that okay, somehow he will work, right? So then they have to terminate his contract. So that's why that clause, I feel like, is there. So
Mm-hmm.
basically once you join here, you'll get 3 months of time. In that time, you have to do literature survey, and then you have to write a report,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to submit a report to the committee, who will be taking um, before whom you are going to present this your research proposal you are going to defend, before whom. So you are going to submit them, and then you have to make a obviously presentation to explain everything, because report will be like around 20 pages. So you can't
Okay.
explain report, right? So you have to make a presentation, and then you have to explain the presentation. So 1 week before the date of the presentation, you have to submit your report, and then all the committee members will go through the report, and
Mm-hmm.
then if there is like some mistake, they will mark it there itself. And then in the presentation, after you have to give a presentation for 20 minutes, and after that they will ask questions. So
Okay.
depending on what they understood
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of questions they are asking, you can easily understand that okay, how your presentation have been gone, and
Okay.
whether you are going to get positive feedback from them or negative feedback, because they are like very open. If they don't feel like you haven't done a good job in making a report, and you haven't done proper research to proper literature survey to write your report, then they will like directly point it out that
Okay.
okay, this is wrong. If you are not going to complete this much amount of work in 3 years, or this work is very less for 3 years, so this kind of comment they pass. So
Okay.
yeah.
So you will not be having any courses to do as such.
Yes, So we have here 6 courses, and 4 are technical, 2 are non-technical. As I told in my previous answer, like there is a course here, philosophy of science, that
Yes.
is like mandatory to everyone, because in Europe they have this thing like everybody should be like aware of social thing and philosophy and these things. So how philosophy is connected with science. So because of that, we have to go through that course. Then say other course is like scientific writing. In that
Okay.
course, they will teach like how to write papers and stuff. And the other 4 technical course, depending on your background, you have to take those courses. For me, because from my domain is my project is interdisciplinary. It's like combination of 2 domains. So because of that, I have taken deep learning, deep reinforcement
Okay.
learning, optimization, and advanced optimization. So these are the 4 courses I have taken, and some courses I audited also because of my because obviously I need some input from my core research, right? Wireless communication. So I did statistical signal processing. That was just I audited. I was not gone. Means like I will not get the credit for that course. I just
Okay.
audit that
It's
course.
like bridging course.
Yeah. Yeah, means when you audit some course, you do not have to submit assignment and project, and you do not have to write exam, these things.
Okay.
Just you'll go to the class, you will attend the class, and then you'll get the knowledge. That's it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So yeah, coming to this publications and all, like how many publications you need to submit to get your PhD degree and all?
Yes. So here the 2 things are there. One thing is like what university recommendation is there, and second thing is like what your supervisor want. So university basically recommendation in Norway is not that much very difficult to achieve, but then it depends on your supervisor. As I told you before, my supervisor experience, international exposure, and these things are very good. So that's why he always go for high reputed conferences, international conferences, and IEEE transactions. So because of this 3 years of PhD, we have to submit 4 international conferences like ICASP and
Okay.
SPAWC, these things, machine learning, Globocom. So these international conference we are like looking for, and then IEEE transactions, 2 IEEE transactions.
Okay.
So total 6. So that is my supervisor requirement. So if we'll achieve that, then we will get our PhD will be done. We can start writing thesis.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but then university requirement is less
Mm-hmm.
than the supervisor.
Okay.
So university needs only three conferences, and it should
Mm-hmm.
not to be like very high reputed uh,
Okay.
conference
Conference.
paper. If it is
Okay.
like mid-range also, yeah, it's fine. So they don't have that much issue, because they understand that it's like 3 years process, so it's like difficult to publish
Yes. Yes.
repeatedly.
Yes.
This
It's
thing,
obvious thing.
maybe because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.